Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright.
Good.
What is this, these drinks?
These ones are all ciders. These are colourful ones, they're all ciders. That's a strawberry cider. That's elderflower. That's a rhubarb cider. And then these are all beers and ales.
I remember once when I was a teenager going out with friends and getting drunk on snake bite.
Heard of that?
And anyway, when I woke up the next morning, I passed out in my friend's bathroom, and so they put a quilt over me and blah blah blah. Yeah, to cover me. And I had the dentist that morning. And then when I went to put my jeans on, they were wet. Okay, I won't say any more. I'll leave that bit to your imagination. But when I went in and out, because they were by the toilet, so when I went into where all my friends were recovering as well, which one of you tooting people weed all over my jeans? Oh no, that was you. I never tried snake bite again.
That's the way you learn. That's the way we all learn.
Yeah.
The sensible ones only ever get one hangover. People like me just keep buying another bottle of gin.
No, yeah, so, but the thing is, I don't drink. Every now and again I'll have a shandy, but I don't drink. Not because I got anything against it, but I've been there, I bought the t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Plus lager doesn't really taste that nice. And when I go out with friends, and they say, what do you want to drink? I'll just have a Pepsi, please. What do you want in it? Oh no, just a Pepsi. And they literally look at me like I'm mad. They look at me like how I'd look at them if they said they didn't own a television.
But that's their problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all different, and that's the nice thing about it. Everybody's different. We all have our own choices, don't we?
Yeah.
Bless you, Frank.
Welcome, mate.
And then if you want to wear them as a halter, you just want to go up to the top of
Ducky for the bar.
That's cute. You can have a cute racket.
Exactly, stay on your own.
Yeah, I've just got some cherry and some pear blanc, but then I'm going to tell the same guy.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Single, 2 or 3 layers, and then hand coloured, and then framed.
Surprise.
We've got Dinosaurs, unicorns, horses, cockerels. I got a cock and bull. Highland cows are really
These are handmade as well?
Yeah, they're all £3 each and it's more for a tenner and you can mix and match with coasters, pullovers.
Yes, first time I've done this.
The buttons there are all made out of the single flat piece of wood.
Right, we'll do something where
A lot of them are a bit on the hard sell, aren't they? You only have to walk past them and they're trying to flog your stuff.
I know, that makes me not want to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Doing exactly the same.
It's like when you walk into Curry's and they're just on you. I only want a kettle. Yeah, but this one's got Bluetooth.
That's what I need, Bluetooth on every bloody thing. It's internet connected, you know. Why does my bloody washing machine need to be internet connected?
I do like the colour of that.
Yeah.
I won't be able to answer your questions just now, as I've been temporarily programmed to give out declassified information about myself.
Oh, I hated that show.
Massey Ferguson, Rachel's maiden name, Massey.
Alright.
I don't think she had anything to do with the track.
That looks nice and clean.
Yeah. Obviously doesn't, well, I say obviously doesn't, maybe it doesn't get used that often. Just comes out for show times. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So with this one, would you have to
Hand
crank
it,
or-
yeah.
I can't imagine that being much fun.
No. If you want to drive one, you can, as long as you're over 5 years old.
Oh, what? What, one of them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I almost fell off my bike yesterday.
I don't think you'll fall off that though. It might be the smaller one actually, Jamie. It might be
more than as guilty as the person who said it. So their culture, the fact that I described him as being camper in a Christmas tree. But they didn't know that. And it wasn't, he didn't complain, he wouldn't have complained, it was someone else. And they didn't know I was gay. And so, the irony, and I said, but of course and they said, no, you've got to go on this school, so I went and sat through 2 days. Because I was in big trouble for my homophobic comments. He roared with laughter when I told him. And he said, what's that time?
Do you want to drive one of them? Do you want me to go and see if I can get you a drive on one? I think it might be one of the small ones. I don't think it'd be that one.
No.
You sure?
No, it's an accident waiting to happen.
Look, they let people over the age of 5 do it, Jamie.
Yeah, I know, but
It's going to be good on YouTube. Jamie driving a thing.
is that a road tax disc?
Yeah, but it's like, well, what this one is an old road tax disc.
Alright.
You don't need them anymore. So that was the last time that they published a tax disc.
10 years ago.
And this one is an insurance disc for the boiler to say that the boiler's had an inspection.
Oh, because obviously if you're here and something happens.
Yeah, so when we come onto the show site, they check our insurance disc to make sure that we've got insurance.
Alright, yeah, that didn't even occur to me.
So,
but
yeah, that's what it is. It just makes it easier than carrying a big ream of paperwork around.
yeah.
They have to have 2 insurances, one for the boiler, because it's a pressure.
Do you have to
vessel.
have one for the boiler in case that explodes and
Yeah,
one for if
and
you
one
run
for
over a
road,
kid?
Yeah.
going on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. for the road, for the traffic.
So you still have to tax these on the road? Don't they come and I thought old
It's
vehicles-
free. You have to
Free,
tax
but
it.
they are
you go
registered.
through the process.
Yeah.
And the government, if they feel inclined, can start charging them if they want to. But yeah, you have to tax them every year, but it's free. Insurance isn't, but
Yeah, it definitely isn't.
I guess that's really expensive. Then,
it's
are they?
not.
It's not.
too
It's not
bad.
bad. It's more the.
But it's a few hundred.
Depends how much you insure it for.
Well, I
as
mean,
well,
insuring
which
your
is
cars isn't cheap
Yeah.
these days, is
Oh
it?
God,
So-
no, that's why I'm
It's
wondering.
cheaper to insure than my car is.
Oh,
What fell over there? But yeah.
semi-rude question. How much is something like this worth?
As much as you can get for it.
Oh, is it one of those things? Is it? Yeah.
Quite a lot. Enough.
They do vary.
I was going to say, it does. I mean, if I had the money and I wanted to buy one, I would sit there and
The big,
expect it
if I
to
tell you
cost
that
a
the
lot.
very big shows, not this one, but the biggest supers will fetch between 3/4 and 800,000, million and 3/4 and 800,000. But they're very rare. There's only 6 of those.
Oh well, right.
I think, isn't it? Only 6, I think.
Yeah. Is it 6 or 8?
6 or 8.
The somewhere between upwards of 150 for this and
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
They take quite a bit to maintain. I mean, every 10 years you have to strip all the lagging off and everything, and the boiler inspector then inspects the boiler, makes sure it's safe, and you pump it up with air to 1.5 times its working pressure, and if anything's going to break, it won't kill you because it isn't steam coming out, it's just air. Right? And they check it all. But then if you need, in these, you've got a box where you put the coal and the fire.
Yep.
And there's tubes lead out of that through the water and come out here up the chimney.
Oh, right.
But round the box where the fire is water all the way around it. Right? And what happens is that the stays that hold the whole thing together wear over the years, and you have to replace, quite often you replace the firebox. And I don't know how much a firebox costs now, but someone to do it,
I guess 12.
yeah, probably 10 at least, 10 or 12,000.
Really? Bloody hell.
You don't do it very often, but
No.
when
No,
you,
I hope not.
if the boiler inspector says you can't steam it, then you've got to cough up.
To have one made, I think they're still about 8,
Yeah.
between 5 and 8.
When-
and then
when
you've
I
got
had
quite a
ours-
lot of labour in fitting
I mean,
it.
ours was about 3, you see, all those years ago.
Yeah, no,
Things
I
have gone
think
up a
when
bit
I
now.
had mine done, which was probably 15 years ago, having a box fitted was 8, 8.5, something like that. And I put the stays in, and there's quite a lot of work in putting the stays in.
Paul and I, we bought, a chap imported some English engines from Australia
Oh yeah.
years ago, back in 2003.
I was
Right.
quite a lot younger then.
And so was I. And Paul and I bought one each. And we did ours up, Paul did his up. But
I took considerably longer. They did theirs in about, what, less than 10 years?
10 years took us.
I
You-
took 20.
20. But you had a lot more to do.
Yeah, I did. I went through it, didn't I?
It takes, if you do it yourself, it takes a long time, but also it's to do with the finances. You can spend a little, it's like having a mortgage, you just spend a little bit each month or each year.
Which is what I did. I mean,
That's what we did.
but
I mean, we wouldn't be able to afford to do it all
you know,
in one go.
every big part of it was that I had someone put the tyres on the wheels.
in forests surrounded by trees. They're like big open spaces. So the barn owls will found out in above fields, meadows, and grasslands. And that means that they're not trying to look like a tree. They're brown and black. They don't know how to blend into their surroundings. Now, they've got those nice guys among them. They're open nice guys. Give them actually black. If you think about it, there's almost white stuff going on there. There's owls, there's blues, there's stars, and that is what barn owls and the barn owls go down. So all of us, we look up at them all together. We look up at the white barn owl, here they are. If you look at that, you look at what they're doing, then you look at white. Then you look up these big white cases of them, and you look at and then that cloud will very, very quickly turn into a barn owl. That's why they got this pure white, kind of ghostly appearance. If you do just look down at Bagel, you'll notice that she is actually more brown in colour, so she will blend in better with the floor around her. Now, when the barn owls are hunting, what they're doing is they're mostly going for small rodents. They'll go for field voles, shrews, little mice, pretty much anything they get hold of. And they're not looking at that prey, they're actually listening for it. I think one of the most kind of iconic things on the barn owl is that bright white face and that kind of classic heart shape that they've got. Now, that heart shape they've got on the front of their face is called a facial disc. It's kind of like a big satellite dish. If you're trying to hear something better, if I didn't have a microphone on right now and shouting you were trying to hear me, you'd probably stuff your hands behind your ears. That is exactly what that ring of feathers is doing. It's amplifying their hearing. It means that they can actually hear things far, far better. Now, a barn owl's hearing is so good that they can actually hear something like a mouse's heart beating from about 6 meters away. So that means that little Bagel over here could actually be sat on the top of your 2-story house, on the top of the barn roof over there, and hear something as quiet as a mouse's heartbeat on the floor. That is how they actually hunt. They will use their hearing to listen and catch things rather than their sight. A barn owl could be blindfolded, they can still catch their dinner. Now, the other thing that is really, really kind of well known about the owl, and probably one of the things they're most famous for, is of course their silent flight. Now, it's going to be tricky today, obviously, because we've got lots of noise around us. We've got steam engines and whistles and engines and stuff going on. But as Bagel's flying around, whenever she's near you, just keep an ear out. See if you can actually hear any wings flapping. Just in comparison to the next few birds seen after her, you should hopefully notice she is completely silent. You won't hear anything from Bagel's wings. They are like the ninjas of the sky, everyone. They are so quiet and stealthy, the mice quite literally can't hear them coming. Now, the mixture of being bright white and being silent in flight, added in with the fact they don't exactly make the most pleasant of noises. The barn owls actually sound a bit like a human screaming, to be honest with you. All of those things combined has earned the barn owl a little bit of a negative nickname. Less so these days, but going back a few hundred years, the barn owl was actually seen as a bit of a sign of bad luck. So they've seen a demon, spirit, signs of evil. There's even stories out there that if you hear a barn owl calling your name, you've not got very long left. So hopefully none of you sound like barn owl if you hear Bagel chatting later on as you're wandering around. But all of this myth and legend is tied to the fact that at the end of the day, there's a lot of superstition around. You've got this bright white thing that flies around screaming in your face, and you can't hear the wings, so you don't even know if it's a real thing or not. So that's where the legends and myths surrounding barn owls all kind of come from. Now, Bagel here is actually around 10 years old now, so we've got her and her brother. Her brother's called Peanut, by the way. There's a solid food theme that you'll probably pick up with any of our birds. You visit us over in the corner later, ask about a few of the other names that we've got out there. You'll probably notice we tend to just name them after different types of snacks. But Peanut and Bagel there at 10 years old, doing very, very well for themselves. Out in the wild, they probably only live around 6 to 8 years. They could obviously live longer, but on average that's around it. Whereas with us, they could live in their 20s. You usually double, if not quadruple, a bird's lifespan. Now, that is Bagel's ground flight. We're going to make sure that she is very nice and safe back in that van before our next bird joins us, because we're going to be jumping up significantly inside. Joining us here in the arena, we have Levi. Now, Levi is an absolutely stunning bird. He's a Chilean eagle, or Chilean blue eagle, as they're sometimes referred to. Now, Levi is now 30 years old. He's getting on quite a bit now, as you guys know. Now, with Levi, you're going to notice, we're going to be flying him slightly differently to how we were flying Bagel. Now, Levi is not really flying with us today. Levi is flying in what we call a He is quite over 30 years old. More than 40. The reason that the guy is on a line, why you do that, is just for the safety of those more animals that remain around us. Because the guy is an eagle, and Levi does have a fairly high grade, right? And we don't want to deal with all the paperwork that comes if Levi decides that your little small dog just by the side of the arena is a rather tasty little snack. Quite boring arena. So with Levi, we do climb on a line when we're in big places like this. Because essentially for Levi, if it's got feathers or fur and food, it's good. Levi is absolutely down there when it comes to hunting, not exactly what we're trying to demonstrate here today. So that is why Levi is going to be flying on the fly for us today. If you want to see Levi flying in full glory, then you'll want to hunt today with Levi, where we can take them out to the countryside as you can. But like I say, events like this, safe for everyone's sake, for Levi. Now, these guys are incredible birds. They are incredibly powerful as eagles go. So Levi is a South American, kind of a name, Chilean blue eagle. Both the unfortunate sort of area. And his lovely slate grey, almost blue plumage, perfectly designed to blend in with rock faces, cliffs, soaring around. That colour does only come through later in life though, so Levi's a fully mature adult now, that's why he's got the full adult plumage. As a juvenile, so up to around 4 or 5 years old, Levi wouldn't look anything like this. Levi would actually be mostly black, brown and white.
Oh no,
actually looking a lot more like buzzards, and they are sometimes referred to as black-chested buzzards because of that coloration. Now, as Levi's flying around, you notice he's flying a little bit different to how Bagel was flying. He's going to be doing a little bit more soaring, especially when we've got the wind like this. He's a slightly bigger bird, so we are going to have to be more cautious with his flight. He'll always prefer flying into wind, hence why Carly's usually walking him back here and then flying him out into the wind to her. Now, you'll notice, once he's in the air, he tends to just stay low and glide along the floor. That's what these birds built for. They're the four wings. They spend a lot of time soaring up in the air, using updrafts from cliff faces and rising externals to stay up, without using a huge amount of effort. Now, when Levi is out in the wild, he will go for pretty much anything. They're highly braver, but his favourite food is actually for the skunk. Now, birds of prey, rather crazy, actually a lot of birds. Oh, you haven't actually, Levi, are we a bit jealous? We're a bit kind of with the steam going on. That's Sarah, you're a massive terrifying bird. Steve is terrifying. Now, when Levi is hunting, because he's like, oh yeah, it's just a bit of fun, guys, I'm fine. When Levi is hunting, favourite food is skunk, because birds can't actually taste or smell anything. So the skunk's main defense mechanism, which is of course the moral defense, completely useless against birds of prey. So the birds literally don't know that humans happening. So they are lovely, like lovely little phrase there around back there for that one. Now, the reason that these guys are sometimes referred to as stinky eagles in South America is because of the fact that they're made in Hertfordshire. Their favourite food is narwhal, so therefore the eagle is under the nickname that goes with that. He's not just going to be going for guns though. He will go for pretty much anything. He will go for small mammals such as rabbits, hares, brown birds, pheasants, for example, along with occasionally even taking on grey foxes. That just goes to show how powerful Levi here can actually be. Now, Levi got himself a little bit unsettled there, so that's going to be Levi's last flight. We're going to get him popped back into him and settle himself down. We do have one more bird to join us out here. Now, we're going to be going from the first bird, probably one of the cutest birds out there. Usually most people's favourite.
Puffin.
Now, the big majestic bird, the eagle, one of everyone's really powerful, beautiful, graceful animals. And we're going to go into a bird that is unfortunately seen a little bit of a negative light. I doubt we're going to have many people here who are massive fans of Xbox, which is a shame. We're going to move on to a bird that a lot of people would actually refer to as ugly. Now, keep in mind, you're a beautiful bird. You really speak. Come see it later when we head out over in our main play area over there. You'll see just how cute the friend is. But we are, of course, moving on to one of our poultry. Now, this is going to be actually an American species. So, joining us here with Carly, we have Buck. Buck is one of the new world vultures. He's a Turkish vulture. Turkish vultures are doing pretty well out in the wild, which unfortunately is...
This makes me think of, know that comedian Barry Cryer?
Yeah.
I saw him on YouTube telling a joke about a fella in America was up in court because he shot a golden eagle, and it's like the national bird, isn't it? He goes, well, what happened? He goes, well, I was shooting skeet and it just flew in front, you know, it was a horrible, tragic accident. He goes, obviously, I didn't mean to do it. He goes, well, what did you do with the body? He goes, well, I roasted it and ate it. It seemed a shame to let it go to waste. He goes, well, what did it taste like? He went, a lot like swan. I thought that was funny.
Unfortunately, there are some fairly unpleasant disappointments out there. There's people that go out after rhinos, elephants, hippos, poachers of the world, and they generally leave behind most of the animals that attach. Generally speaking, they'll leave the entire carcass. Now, for monsters, that's great. It's still a feast. They will have a great time.
So where's 12 quid?
Don't know yet. There's a lot of money in it really for these things. Have to see what the entertainment's like. Mind you, I think we've still got to do this bit yet. So.
Yeah.
You go to that area, and that's how we catch the poachers. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean the poachers have started war against vultures. They're now making
Getting a bit close now.
Yeah, that's why I stood over here. I thought we'd get a nice close-up view.
What is that?
It's a turkey vulture. Are you going to get proper close-up?
For it today, guys. There's lots more steam engine activity than we had last time that we were here, so he's not a fan.
Huge, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what I think these guys need to get is a red kite, because we've got loads of them flying around, and a buzzard, just so people can see one up close to see just how big a red kite is, because they're bloody enormous.
That's why these birds are so important. Unfortunately, India has lost its vulture population. Numbers increased by huge amounts.
I think today might be an ice cream day again.
And yeah, I think you're more likely right, to be quite honest with you.
The vultures aren't there to tidy up. They're not there to keep everything clean and tidy anymore. So it's just going out of hand. So maybe next time you see a post about vultures struggling, or see an organisation asking help with them, consider looking into it. They are a species that is really, really important to us. Now, you'll have noticed the sun. We only got about 1 point out of bug there. Bug doesn't enjoy the sun, everyone. No, it's a nice warm day. Out here in the middle of the arena, who needs a flying display? So we have actually adapted to it, and we're going to have a looking display, in which Carly is actually the one doing the water. Buck's just chilling out. You'll notice Buck's wings spread wide open. Turkey vultures love most of the time you will see Buck just like this, wings spread wide open. It's actually keeping himself free. It's naturally built into some days. It helps keep better. It helps clear out illegal bacteria or anything that's on there. Bringing up the end of our show. So if you've enjoyed yourself and if you've got any questions about birds at all, then please do come and see us. We're more than happy to chat about birds, teach them to you in a bit more detail on a personal level, and talk about them. So if you are interested, then our main area where we're displaying birds is just over the corner here. You can see where all the lorries are.